There's also another question here. So there has been some changes in the spousal sponsorship. In the past, it was not allowed to get the visitor visa. Can you just shed some light on the new updates now for those spouses that are separated and are waiting for the sponsorship to go through?
Yeah, this update was this policy came up last year where they have made some few changes where they said they've declared that you can now your spouse who has applied for spouse you have applied spousal sponsorship and the application is in process. They can come to Canada on visitor visa and then apply for work permit. Okay. Earlier, before this policy, if the spouse applies for for visitor visa, they used to decline. They used to refuse the visitor visa, stating that your application is processed and you will not come back. You have strong ties in Canada. So now they have changed the policy, and now many of our clients, their spouse visitor visa is approved while the application is in process, and the spouse is in Canada and has applied for work permit. So this policy is amazing and good for people who apply for spouse sponsorship, because normally spouse sponsorship outline takes 1 year depending on country to country, and the spouses, they have to stay apart from each other, and then spouse in Canada cannot leave their jobs or cannot go back every month or after few months to back home to meet their spouse, and it's stressful. It's not easy. Like it's and back home families, they want their child to go to live with the husband or wife in Canada. So it's difficult, but this new policy will be very helpful. This is very helpful for everyone. And spousal sponsorship applications, I just want to add, the spousal sponsorship application is a complex process. And anybody who wants to apply a spousal sponsorship application, I would not recommend doing it yourself, because I always hire a professional, always hire immigration consultants or lawyers who have experience in spousal sponsorship applications, because you have to convince a visa officer you have never met. You have to convince him through papers that this is a genuine marriage. You have to show your relationship. You have to give all the evidence to prove that this is a genuine marriage, and this marriage is not marriage of convenience. And there is so much fraud going on, and people are doing so many things, and the visa officers, they are trained in a way to check every application in a sense where this might be a fraud, this might be a marriage of convenience. So you need to prove all the relationship history, all the documentations needed. And there is a small checklist given by the government on the website, but we have a good number of points in the checklist that we want people to give and prepare the application. It is a complex application.
Not only that, it's so lengthy that if they do make any mistake,
Yeah.
it will increase that time, the
Yeah,
processing
so
time.
so always I recommend, if your application is submitted perfectly, then it saves the duration, it saves the processing time. You make it easy for visa officer to make decision. If you don't give everything which is required, in the sense that to make things easy for visa officer, then there he or she will have questions in mind, and to find those answers, the application will be delayed. You will actually, you will not believe, I have got two spousal sponsorship cases approved in record time, 2 months, 2.5 months, record time from India.
Wow.
The reason was the application was submitted perfectly, and normally from India it takes 12 months.
Yes, huge difference.
Right.
Always recommend to
Always
hire a
recommended.
professional.
Hire a professional, and the marriage has to be done. This is recommendation, but the culture wise, it's different in different cultures, different countries. But for India, I recommend get married religiously, get married by religion, by social, in the sense, do a function, invite people like normally everybody does. And second is register your wedding and get it done legally. So if you have three documentations for legal, for social, and religious, you're good. Right? For different countries, that's a different scenario. But for India, I recommend this always.